Hey, it's Stacy again from Earthhaven Studio, and here we are about to transform this gorgeous little letter from the Dollar Tree, metal embossed. It's going to be super cute. Stay tuned. After removing the tag, I give it 2 good coats of white chalk paint. When the paint is all dry, I then take an iron orchid design stamp, Kindest regards, and I ink it with brown ink. Once you place the inked stamp down, be careful not to move it, just gently touch it with your fingers to press it into the surface. Lift it straight up in one go, and it should be good. I take this floral napkin and I use a wet paintbrush to dab around the designs that I want to save. On the wet edges, I then gently tear to separate them. It gives a really soft, organic look and no hard edges on your finished piece. If you like puzzles, this craft is for you. You take apart the napkin into smaller pieces and then fit them together like a puzzle. Take your time with this step. It took me several tries of fitting and moving the flowers around to find the final look that I wanted. Some of the ink words were showing through my napkin, so I decided to mark out where the edges of the napkin pieces were and repaint underneath their white. Because the ink and the paint were both water-based, my brown ink did smear. I took care of that by adding a second coat of white over top. It still had a light brown hue, but I didn't mind that because it gave it an antique appearance, and once all the napkins were on, it really did look beautiful. I used scissors to cut this rose piece because I didn't want to lose any of the design. Because of the rose, I ended up changing the entire design and had to replace all the pieces. I finally just got brave and got out the Mod Podge and started gluing them down. I love how this final design turned out. I used a sanding block to remove the excess paper from the edge of the piece. I used acrylic craft paints to paint in the center heart. I used colors that I pulled from the colors of the rose. The colors were buff, a medium pink, a scarlet, and a deep alizarin crimson. Also a little bit of brown and some bright yellow. With my wet brush, I just kept mixing and patting and playing with the colors until they mixed into something that really blended in with the rose petals. I then went back to my brown ink and I inked the edges of the metal envelope. I also placed some of the brown ink on the high ridges of the envelope to give it some depth and dimension. I really just was doing some gentle tapping, not looking to cover the entire surface. I then took out my Mod Podge and I added it to the center heart. I wanted it to really pop. Over the Mod Podge, I then decided to put some diamond dust. It's a clear, crushed glass that adds an amazing sparkle and shine. I always use my diamond dust over a container so that I can pour the excess back into the original container. Remember that diamond dust is glass shards, so you wouldn't want to put it on a craft or an area where pets or children could be at risk. Now I'm going to take some gold paint and put it on a brush and get rid of most of it, and I'm going to dry brush the edges that I did brown with the brown ink previously, and I'm going to do it in the same fashion, just lightly tapping all the high edges to give it a little bit of more sparkle and dimension. I am loving how this has turned out. If you like my project, go ahead and follow along, or share it out to some friends who might like it. This honestly was easy and fairly inexpensive to make, and it turned out really sweet. I don't think it looks like a dollar store project anymore. I think it looks a little more high-end than that. What do you think?